Hello and welcome to Astral Express Chat, a Honkai Star Rail podcast. This is your host, Branton Zane, and today will be our first episode. We will be discussing some things like team building, meta, state of the game, lore, grind, new banners, updates, new characters, things we'd like to see, MOC, stuff like that, just the game in general. Oh yeah, so a little bit about ourselves. We're brothers. And we both play this game a lot. I'm level 57 currently.
And I'm 58.
Yeah, Zane's 58. And then, a little bit of how we got into the game. So, Zane, how'd you get into the game?
Sure. So, one of my friends who I play League with actually got into this game, and he would talk about it every single night that we played. And he was like, you gotta play it, you gotta play it, you gotta play it. And eventually I succumbed to the temptation. And haven't looked back since.
Just come to the... Okay, yeah. Mine's pretty similar. I had a friend, and he was, trying to tell me to play it over and over.
You're welcome.
It's our co-host here. All right. It's Zane. I don't know why I said it like that. So, what have you thought of the game so far? Because both you and I have played through the entire story, main story up until now.
Yes, I have one tiny little remaining quest, which is I still have not clicked on the Dong Hung Part 2 message. I'm
very difficult. You're going to need your best team for that.
Yeah, the thing where it gives you a team and you just literally walk forward and do things. Yeah, no, I'm too lazy to click that button. So...
It's free Jade.
Yeah,
it's free stuff.
I'm aware. Well,
so what did you think of the story? You think it's good?
I think it's real good story. Yeah, I think they're keeping up the trend that they did with Genshin, where the story is really good. Just this time, there's no Paimon, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You do have Pom Pom, but he's not
Pom Pom's adorable.
He's not with you the entire time being like...
Yeah, Pom Pom's also not telling me that I can't explore the area ahead and I have to turn back around, so...
Yeah, true. In fact, I actually really like Pom Pom. I think Pom Pom in general is...
he's
cool.
A great game mascot.
Yes,
so.
I agree.
But yeah, so the story is high quality, the animation, all of that Hoya Lab's known for is on par with what you'd expect, so...
Yeah. For myself, I have this... I had this bad habit of just not really caring about the story and kind of just blazing through it as fast as I humanly could. Because I only have one thing on my mind, and that was Primo money. The gems. I wanted the Jade. So I just kind of went flew through it.
And what character were you looking for at the time?
I was looking for Jin Yuan, yeah.
Sure.
So, we both have some of the limited characters, or all of the limited characters. For me, I have both Silverwolf and Jin Yuan, and I'm mostly free to play. I've spent $5, which I'm pretty proud of so far.
Yeah, your remaining Apple gift card.
Yeah, my remaining gift card was what I spent on this game, and so I'm more on the free-to-play side, whereas...
I'm more on the Dolphin side of things.
Yeah.
Once I start talking about my account, we'll get into that a little bit.
Oh, gosh. Zane's a big spender.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
It's nice having some disposable income.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't, so... Yeah, so I am right now, at least team-wise, I'm playing a Jin Yuan team with Tingyun. That's basically the only part of that team that I care about. With a healer, which is Natasha, and then slotting out Fire MC and Welt, sort of based on whatever I need at the moment. And then I have a second team with Silverwolf and QQ, which is kind of just like RNG, and I just kind of thought it'd be fun. And it's sort of I'm trying to build towards a 2 Quantum 2 Imaginary second team with Luocha's banner coming out in a couple days. And yeah, that's sort of what my team is looking like at the moment.
Living the dream if you pull the Luocha.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, so you've got your 2 core teams of 2, right?
Yeah.
So you've got your Jin Yuan and your
I've got,
and then you've got
each
the
team
second
has
core.
2 characters that are pretty important to it.
Yeah, so you've built your team around those 2 integral components. On my end, I was lucky enough to pull Sela in my first 10 pull. during game, which was quite nice. So then I was able to take some of the free jade that you get throughout doing the thing and pull her light cone, which has been real nice as well. So for my teams, I have the Sela Branya duo that gets kind of enhanced with Silverwolf as long as you are fighting an enemy with a weakness that's either Branya's or Bailu's, hence the fourth member of my first team, Bailu. And then the second team uses a Clara March core that currently has a Tinyun and a Yanking as the secondary duo, but we'll see what that team ends up evolving into. We'll see what both of them evolve into, actually, because, I mean, obviously, Sela Branya, tried and true, obviously
it's
broken.
It's a good combo,
Yeah.
Just extra turn, into more extra turns, into more extra turns.
Why would anyone else on the team matter? No, it's just Sela's turn every time.
Yeah.
But,
well, I can't say the same. My teams don't do that.
But, so that's kind of what I'm working with right now. But we'll see. The first team with the Silverwolf and Branya duo, it feels like a real staple core to like any supportive part for a team, where they can allow any DPS to really shine.
Yeah.
But it does kind of require that either your DPSs win to match Branya, because otherwise, if you don't have another wind unit, that wind implant from the Silverwolf is worthless.
Yeah, that's
Or they already have the wind weakness, and then it doesn't matter because then Silverwolf can't implant Branya's wind, and then you just kind of get to ignore it. So, but yeah, so that's what I'm working with for the moment.
Cool. What character are you working on currently?
Right now, I am building up my Clara, because Luocha is coming.
Yeah.
And he feels like him and Clara would be a fun unit combo, especially with March in the mix. Clara just becomes an immortal, cute little child who has Farad protecting her and gunning down any enemies they run into.
I know this is an unpopular opinion, probably, but I don't really like March that much. I just don't find her that fun to play. I'd rather have an AoE healer or shielder, and I feel like it's just annoying that I'm stuck only doing one person at a time. And yeah, I know, like, but she's good. And
she is
blah,
good.
Blah, blah. But, I'd rather have AoE support than just single target in this scenario.
I see. So you're one of the wrong individuals over here who hasn't been converted to the March 7th ways.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's because mine is only level 50, and the rest of my characters are like 60 to 70. So that could be influencing my opinion, because I just haven't leveled her up. But I'm kind of just waiting for Luocha, and I'm just going to slot her out. I'm just going to be like, no. I don't really want to play her right now. She's sort of just there filling that role. But I really want to play Luocha.
I'm on the other end of this debate, everyone. I am a March fan, especially compared to Amber in Genshin. She is actually good. Unlike Amber.
Yeah.
But no, it also helps that I have a Clara. March gets 20 times better when you have a Clara, because you just shield Clara, which provides extra aggro, which makes it so that Clara aggroes over March. And then especially if you throw Clara's ult on there, Clara just takes all the hits and then dishes out all the damage, and your whole survivability is just bundled in this nice little package. So.
Yeah, see, I like playing RNG.
Yeah.
That's why I play QQ, because
the best unit in the game, you mean?
Yeah, well, okay, I don't know about that, but she's really fun, and it keeps the game interesting, because I never know what's going to happen. Because I could wind up wasting all my skill points and still not hit her enhanced basic, or I could waste like one, or she just gets it at the start of the turn, and then I can't waste any. And, it's, I don't know, I really like that. I'm really hoping to get Luocha, though. Like, I want another imaginary character, so even Yukon could probably fill that role, except not really, because I need a healer/shielder. But yeah.
Well, what are you running with your QQ right now?
Silverwolf, March, and, well.
So how's that skill points work? Talk about how do you manage those skill points with all of those characters?
I'm glad you asked, Zane. So essentially, I it kind of doesn't work very well. I'm not gonna lie. Because March always has to shield because both QQ and Silverwolf are squishy, and March is also squishy because she's not really that built, and Welt is my only built character on the team. QQ's getting there. QQ's built a bit, so she does decent damage. Her crit rate is awful. It's less than 1 in 3 right now, which is not great. Silverwolf is good because weakness implant. And then March, it kind of just sucks up extra skill points, which I don't really want. And that's why I'm hoping to get Luocha, because he's skill point positive, and I really like some extra skill points to just have lying around.
So you can dump them into QQ and Welt.
Yeah. And then I can use Silverwolf skill if needed, which right now it feels like I have to sometimes sacrifice skill points just so I can have them for QQ.
Sure. So, while we're talking about this, why don't we take a moment to talk about what characters we have that are actually built, what characters we're currently building, and what characters are on our teams that were good enough for now. Or they're just placeholders.
Yeah.
So for
you
you,
want to start, or
you want me to start? Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
I can start. So my Sela is pretty good at this point, I'd say. She's not done by any stretch of the imagination, especially since I only have the 2-piece Genius of Brilliant Stars on her due to an off-piece boots. Because I don't want to talk about how many quantum boots I have failed rolling. Gives me depression every time I think about it. But
the relics in general just aren't fun to roll for. It's just a consuming abyss where you just dump energy and most of the time get nothing.
I enjoy the grind on that front, but it is painful sometimes when you repeatedly fail.
Definitely be painful.
Especially when boots are a 1 in 4 chance of getting the right main stat, and I just
Still
don't ever roll
over.
attack main stats, ever. I think I've rolled 2 in my entire account, and I just rolled defense over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But my Sela right now is rocking 25-28 attack with 123 speed, 66.6% crit rate, and 187% crit damage. So she hits real hard.
187?
Yeah, so she hits hard, thankfully, because she hard carries the first team by herself.
Yeah. Well, you let your Sela be the friends character where I can support it for my team, and basically when I hit new equilibrium levels, I will always use your Sela to first test out to see how hard things are, because I know I will win. It's just a matter of how fast or how hard. And if your Sela can easily beat most of the stuff, I'm like, oh, this probably isn't that bad. But if it's a struggle, it's it's gonna be way worse for me.
So my Sela has fully maxed out traces for a level 70 Sela. Her light cone obviously is maxed. But just super in position 1. I'm not that crazy.
You're not that much of a whale.
No.
Although, hey, what's your Silverwolf add-ons at?
We'll get to Silverwolf in a second. But so Sela, while her traces and everything are leveled up, no one else on the team, on that first team, have leveled up traces remotely. In fact, all of them have either talents missing completely or just have skills no higher than level 6. As one casually does.
Yep.
So, but we do on our Bronya have the Bronya signature light cone from the 600 premium currency things that you can cash in.
Mm-hmm.
And then also have Silverwolf's signature light cone. So we are rocking some pretty good 5-star light cones on this team. With, as Britt mentioned, a E2 Silverwolf, because I decided it would be fun to do a 10 pull for E1 Silverwolf and pulled Silverwolf with 2 pity. And so then I decided to splurge a little bit for E2 so that I could DPS Silverwolf. But she's not built DPS, as the 1 leveled up artifact on her and the 1200 attack and 13% crit rate and 60% crit damage would tell you. So yeah, that's my as far as fully built characters, Sela's about the only one.
Yeah.
Like I said, she's not done. Clara is kind of the next on the line. She's got a really great one artifact.
Nice.
Whole one.
A whole one.
Yeah. She's really holding down the fort here. But yeah, that's kind of my fully built one, and is just Sela. Like I said, building Clara.
Yep.
And that's it for me. How about yourself?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I am kind of building a couple characters, I guess. I built up Genuine first when I got him because I was like, oh my gosh, cool character. So I just basically just put a ton of effort into building him. His traces are almost maxed out for his level 70. He's missing 2 of them because I just don't feel like grinding a little bit more for him.
Which 2?
His basic and his ultimate. His basic I don't really have to level at all because there's not really a point. Because it really is just wanting to use skill all the time. And then his ult I just have 1 level under, which I need to at some point do. I haven't done it yet, I just haven't gotten around to it. Also, and by the way, I do not have any Eidolons on my 5 stars because I am not that lucky.
What are your Genuine's stats right now?
The only notable thing is his attack, which is 2,900.
Wow, that's high.
Yeah. His crit rate is 62.8%, but his crit damage is a pitiful 66.2%, which is not good. I feel like I
he
really
almost has higher crit rate than crit damage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great.
I mean, the crit rate's pretty great.
The crit rate is great, which is, that's good, but his crit damage is pitiful. If I could have just gotten his light cone and not failed a 75-25, it would have been a lot better. But instead, I'm running a superimposed 5 Seriousness of Breakfast because that's also it's a good free-to-play option.
Yeah.
For erudition characters.
There's nothing wrong with breakfast. That thing is...
It's good, and it's a
good.
damage buff, not a attack buff. Well, it's both, but it's primarily a damage buff at the start, which is good. Because damage percent is better than attack percent.
Yeah.
Which, I only really understood this the other night, because attack percent just takes into account your base attack, not the attack on top of all the other pluses you're getting from it. It's just your base. Whereas damage takes your base plus all of those extra stats and then gives you a number.
Yeah.
So damage percent is better than attack percent. Which I don't know why it took me so long to realize that. It just hit me the other night. I was brushing my teeth and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Because you just see the one big attack number and your first thought is, oh, well, it's just going to buff all of it.
Yeah.
Nope, not quite.
Guess that's fair. Anyways, the other character I really have pretty built is Welt. Because having the enemies have no turn for a while is quite nice. Just being able to go, and
basically a secondary healer, right? I mean, if you don't take any damage in the first
place,
do you need to heal
I can see that. I can see that actually. The only issue, for Lycone, I'm running before the tutorial mission starts on him. That's at level 70, superimposed 5. It's just the Silver Wolf event Lycone, and it basically just buffs his effect hit rate by 40%. Which is ginormous. And right now he's rocking a total of, 50% effect hit rate. Because, I need to work on that. Because I just wanted it to be where he would constantly imprison enemies. That way his ult would get more value and I would get more turns. And then I started kind of building QQ. And I'm kind of part of the way I'm most of the way there. I just need to finish it out. Her Lycone sucks. It's Genius's Repose, which basically the only reason I'm running it is because it increases her attack by 20%. That's basically the reason I run it. Because it also has this thing where when you defeat an enemy, your crit damage goes up by 30% for 3 turns. But it's kind of awful and it's not that good. I'd much rather run another Breakfast Lycone, but I don't want to invest in another one right now.
Fair.
So I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Jing Yuan sort of is hyper carried by Ting Yun because she has Branya's light cone because I don't have Branya.
Yeah, but you did roll 2 Branya's light cones, which is honestly
Yeah.
potentially more impressive that you've somehow managed to do that.
Yeah, so I have a superimposed 2, but the battle is an over light cone, which is Branya's light cone, because I'm unlucky, but also lucky because you can see it both ways, because it's a really, really good light cone, and I basically use it on Ting Yun to basically make Jing Yuan do more damage, but it's not as effective on Jing Yuan as it could be on my other team if I had, like, Branya, or just a character who wants damage during their turn, not after.
Right.
Because Jing Yuan has delayed damage because of Lightning Lord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Branya Jing Yuan combo doesn't work.
It's not,
so
but so great.
Because
The only nice thing is you get more turns in, so you get more stacks.
yeah, so you get the more stacks, which that part's nice. But like all of Branya's damage buff outside of her ult just gets like completely wasted on Lightning Lord, which is like main source of damage.
Whereas if you had QQ with Branya,
QQ with Branya is
that would could get
quite
you
the
some,
lethal combo.
Yeah, that would get you some crazy damage, but I don't have her, so
Yeah.
I'm
So
not doing that at the moment.
as you guys can see, Brandon and I are kind of on different sides of the same coin here. He tends to move towards the Erudition DPS units,
Yeah.
while I tend to favor Hunt / Destruction DPS units.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of funny how that coin is flipped.
Yeah, and I would say, for me at least, the reason I picked my DPS units is because I thought they'd be fun. Like, that's kind of how I pick my characters. Well, at least the characters I invest in, that's how I kind of pick them. That's why I invested into Welt and Jing Yuan first, because I thought they had the coolest, like, mechanics. I thought their mechanics were really interesting. And also QQ, because I think adding a little bit of RNG makes fun.
Yeah. And for me, Sela, I just absolutely love her design. So she's my favorite unit in the game right now. So I invest everything into her first, hence why he borrows her occasionally.
Yeah.
And then after that, Clara was the 5-star I got from the, free 50 pulls. After that, you're guaranteed a 5-star. She was the one I got there. And she kind of embodies the way I like to play these sorts of games, which is offensive defense is the best form of defense.
Mm-hmm.
And she both tanks and outputs pretty good damage. Like, it's not insignificant. So she kind of allows me to put a shell on a team that has a less built DPS unit that can make up the difference by the fact that their defense is actually outputting damage.
Yeah.
So that's how I picked my 2. But yeah. So
I
that's
think,
kind of our characters.
Yeah, I think we could talk about maybe, like, Luocha. What we're
Sure.
thinking with Luocha.
Yeah, we can talk about Luocha. You want to start with Luocha since you're the one who's hoping to slot him in immediately?
Well, I think you are too. But
Yeah, I think we both are.
Yeah, I think we're both looking forward to Luocha. The reason I think he's really good is because he's got multiple ways to heal, unlike March, who can't.
Hey, if you E6 her, you can.
Well, I can't, because I don't have her at E6.
Fair. Touche.
Yeah, but I think Luocha is great. Number 1, he can get rid of buffs, he can get rid of debuffs, and he can heal, and do damage. Like,
Yeah, and
he can do a lot of things.
And all without using a single skill point.
And he's so skill point efficient. It's crazy.
Yeah, who would have
it's so
thought
weird.
that casting a skill for free on the ally that you want to cast it on for free, and probably is the one you want to also cleanse a debuff on,
Yeah.
once again, for free,
Yeah.
is pretty good. And then
It's
an
good
AoE
value. It's
buff
good value.
removal on the enemies is also pretty crazy.
And it's also more imaginary damage, which isn't the most common at the moment.
Yeah, as my account has, let's count it, 0 imaginary characters.
Mine has 1, and the only one. Currently.
Yeah. So, not only is Luocha just cracked, but the rest of the banner is also pretty cracked with Pella, QQ, and I am not even going to try to say her name because I don't remember, but the imaginary Harmony girl. You know her name?
Yukong?
Yukong, that's it.
Yeah, she's coming in the next patch too. And she'll be free after the end of this patch.
Yes.
Which will be great.
So once we start actually seeing what her numbers look like, on paper she seems quite good.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about the 4 stars too. Featured on the banner.
So there's one you're really excited for.
Oh yeah, well, QQ is a featured 4-star. And I'm using QQ as a DPS right now. So I'm really wanting to get her to E4 because her Eidolon at E4 is freaking nuts because every time she uses her skill, which she uses multiple times per turn, she gets a 24% chance to basically double her damage dealt. Which if she crits, I'm doing like 15k, 20k sometimes, depending on the defense shred from Silverwolf. So that means I could do potentially upwards of like 30 to 50, 30, well okay. I'm not really good at math, so I don't know if that made sense.
How much number?
30 to 40, I think. 30 to 40k.
Yeah, that's double 15 to 20.
Yep, because I'm good at this. And I think, I just really want that. And I also want Yukong, which is also another feature 4-star. And this is currently the only way to get her once this banner comes out, because she's not being added into standard banner until
1.2.
Yeah, 1.2.
Yeah, so once 1.2 comes out. And then for me, I've got an E4 Pella right now from the
Oh yeah,
Sela
Pella's
banner.
the other 4-star.
Yes.
Yeah,
and,
Pella's good though.
Pella's quite good, especially in mono ice teams. So both
Plus
of
Silverwolf.
Plus
Yeah.
Silverwolf, of course. Yes.
Yeah,
you can't do mono ice without Silverwolf. But
The
both of
quantum
us have a Silverwolf.
Yeah.
Both of us have a Yinking.
Yeah.
Both of us
I
have
don't
a
use
Pella.
mine.
Both of us have a Pella.
Yeah.
So if we can get Pella constellations and then lose the 50-50 to Gepard,
Japard, yeah.
however, I always pronounce.
AoE shielder.
Yeah, the AoE shield boy.
Yeah.
Then you can just
that'd be cool, yeah.
also start going crazy. And I mean, these constellations are pretty good. E1 is 5 energy every time an enemy is defeated. E2
True.
is using the skill to remove buffs increases her speed by 10% for 2 turns.
Yeah.
E4 is when the skill is used, there's a 100% base chance to reduce the enemy's ice resistance by 12%. So
Yeah,
on mono
cool.
ice, that starts getting
Yeah, it starts
real
adding
good.
up. Yeah.
And then E6 is when she attacks a debuffed enemy, which, spoiler alert, her and Silverwolf debuff.
Yeah.
She does additional
Definitely
ice
true.
damage equal to 40% of her attack, so she basically just gets a 40% damage buff.
Yeah.
Well, kinda. Not really, but...
Kinda.
in some cases it's better if you're just basic attacking, but...
Yeah.
So her Eidolons have pretty good value. I mean, they're not on the same value as QQ's, like E4 and E6,
Mm-hmm.
but, I mean, she's just as good.
Yeah, she's
So-
definitely good. In the right team, I feel like she would really...
Yeah,
Shine.
and then Yukong, we'll have to see what her Eidolons
Yeah,
look like.
I'm not
because-
quite sure how good she's going to be. I think she'll be really good for, like, teams where you just have, like, one hit that you just want to...
Mhm.
Like, if you have, like, one character, like, Sela, for example, would probably be really good because I'm pretty sure Yukong is, like, it's not, like, number of attacks it buffs, it's number of turns.
Correct. Yes.
So, like, Sela going over and over wouldn't trigger that?
Correct, yes. So if Sela goes into her buffed state, because it's technically a part of the same first turn that she had,
Yeah.
it doesn't consume it, which makes her good with Sela. Like, some characters are, and then some characters are obviously worse with Sela, because they're based on hits.
Yeah, like Tingyun.
Not
Well,
Tingyun.
kinda.
I guess there's not... Are there any that are actually hits?
Maybe not.
I don't think there are, actually, at the moment.
Anyways.
It's more of, Bronya Sela sometimes is worse with allied buffs, because if you're running Bronya, Sela, and Tingyun, then the Bronya turn is eating up a second turn of the Tingyun buff, and then all of a sudden your 3-turn buff where you've got 2 chances to auto with your Tingyun
Yeah.
is turning into a 1.5 turn buff, and now Tingyun's skill point negative.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's interesting gimmicks to it, but yeah, you can also slot in the ults, and because the ults don't count as turns, that also
Yeah,
allows
that's
you to
true.
get the bonus crit damage and crit rate
Yeah,
that she
I never
gives.
thought about that.
So,
Yeah,
there's a
that
lot
could
of
be
stuff
weird.
you can do, But the interesting thing about team building with her is because when she uses it, it's the next two allies that have a turn. Depending on the speed of your characters, you could get stuck where your DPS unit's like the one unit who doesn't get the buffs.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how the math works out to guarantee that your DPS unit actually gets to take advantage of the buffs that she provides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's some teams where it would work kind of bad.
Yes.
Like, specifically Jin Yuan, who basically has another character going, and he's not the main person doing damage, it's his extra character.
Lightning Lord.
Yeah, Lightning Lord in the turn order. And it's like, in that scenario, it'd be awful because when his turn ends, you could lose the buff, and then by the time Lightning Lord goes, it's just gone.
Right. But the other side of it is, depending on how your Lightning Lord's positioned, Lightning Lord could act, and since that doesn't count as a turn, could just give you a free extension.
Does it not?
No, I don't believe it does.
I guess we'd have to do some play testing.
Yeah. Because I don't believe it counts for Tinyun's buff as a turn.
Oh. Oh, no, it doesn't. But that's because it's not Jin Yuan going. That's
Right.
because it's his character, whereas
So-
Ting Yun's buff is based off Jin Yuan's turns.
Right,
the
I guess that's
character.
true. So I guess since it's... I don't know.
I don't know. We'd have to see, yeah.
That's an interesting put a pin in it. I'm sure you'll find out when that comes out.
Yeah.
If you get her. Or if, just wait till 1.2, right? Because you get her for free.
We're gonna get her.
Yeah,
it's
everyone
just
will
when.
have her. I'll finally have Imaginary to pretend.
Mess around with.
And, yeah. Mess around with, start actually imprisoning people, because that hasn't happened yet.
It's very fun, I will say.
Oh, yeah,
Very
I've
fun.
watched her while it just... Warp Trotter spawns in, you
Yeah.
skill and ult it, and the Warp Trotter gets minus 150 some odd
Yeah.
turn
Speed
prior.
can just go away. They just don't move for turns sometimes. Especially when they
Yes.
get broken. Ooh. Broken on top of being imprisoned. Ooh. They never go.
Yeah.
And then I guess we come back to Luocha as the...
Yeah, and
the
then
big
Luocha
guy.
is the 5-star for
Yeah.
all of it. It's just like the icing on the cake. The banner's just so good.
Mm-hmm.
Have we had a better banner than this?
I mean,
4-star wise, I guess Jin Yuan's
Jin
banner
Yuan's
was
banner was
better.
great for 4 stars, but as a 5-star, he's not... I don't think he's better than Luocha.
I don't think
Luocha's
from a
just
meta
way too good.
viability, I
Like,
don't think he is either.
he's got way too many... He's got way too much value. Luocha does, like, just in general.
he's your
His value
debuff
is
cleanser,
disgusting.
your buff cleanser,
Yeah,
your
he fills
healer,
so many roles.
and outputs damage. I mean,
Yeah.
it probably won't be meaningful damage,
but
but
damage
it's still
nonetheless. 'cause
damage nonetheless.
His healing scales with damage, so
Yeah.
or attack percent, which means you build him attack, he'll still deal a little bit of damage, and you still get healing out of it.
Plus, you get the imaginary breaks, which gives imprisonment too, which
Yep.
is further survivability. He basically can be a one-man show on the
Yeah.
survivability front.
Yeah, definitely.
So, he's gonna be great.
I'm really hoping I pull him. I'm really hoping.
Yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you.
Because
as
I
well.
also kind of want Blade, and I know they're gonna be a disgusting pair. So
Yeah, him with Blade, him with Clara. Basically, any of the units that
him and Arlen, no.
the one unit that he's
the
just,
one unit where he's just counterproductive.
Yeah. Hey, you can throw that march that you love so much together with Arlen, and then you've got a good combo.
True.
Yeah, you'll have.
Or Japard if I got him.
Yeah,
Japard would
Japard.
also be good.
but yeah. That's probably all for Luocha. But
Yeah.
how's the Memory of Chaos going for you? It just reset today.
Yeah. So this is also why I want Luocha, because I need a healer on my second team, because having March be the only one who's really adding shield is just, it's rough, because she's just, it's only but so fast. And with two of my characters being so squishy, having smart heals would be amazing, because then it's just, whoop, you just heal them. Like, they get low, they get healed.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wouldn't have to worry about it as much, whereas right now, I can, like, March will be a little too below the turn order, she'll be a little too slow, and then all of a sudden, boop, Silverwolf dies. And it's like, well, okay, I don't know what to do about that. And
What's your Silverwolf self at right now?
1600.
Ah.
It's not high.
And what level is her flower?
She's I don't have relics built at all.
Oh,
Her relics are all 0.
so that's why she dies so much.
She's a little squishy.
She's a little squishy.
For the
Slug.
moment, yeah.
Yeah.
I really should build her, which is why I'm kind of working on her right now. Because her traces are also just like level 3 and 4, which isn't particularly great.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can get them up much higher. So,
Fair.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm still building out her traces as well. I at least have 2 level 6 talents on her, with being her skill and her ult. But
Yeah, but back to MOC.
yeah.
I did manage to 3-star one of them.
Oh, which one?
The second one.
Nice.
I've only done the first 2 for today.
Right.
And the first one I've got 1 star because I just couldn't keep my characters alive, which was sad.
Yeah, the first one probably doesn't have the greatest weaknesses for your
No,
build
it just like
characters, does it?
splits my characters, and it's like,
Because there's no lightning for Jinyuan
no,
on any
there
of
isn't.
them.
So I basically just had to use him to just buff his way through.
Yeah, and brute force is hard at this stage.
Yup, it's definitely difficult.
But what are your thoughts for the third one since you haven't done it yet? What
I don't know. What is it?
So the first one has
Oh gosh, the ice
quantum ice boy that shoots
the ice
everything.
freezer dude.
Yeah, the ice freezer, and then the ice dude that generates the what are they? The fragmentum soldiers,
robots?
the ice fragmentum people.
Oh no, you're right.
And
I was
then
thinking of the other one.
the second stage.
Second one, I will be using Welt.
Yeah, second one, Welt kind of.
Second one will be my Silver Wolf, Welt, and QQ team. First one will be my Genuine, and I'll probably just have to brute
And
force
just-
my way
hey,
through most
hey,
of it.
this one has a lightning weakness.
Yeah, the other one does not.
The other one definitely doesn't, but you've got at least one.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And I'm in a similar boat to Brent here. I've 3-starred the first 2. I haven't attempted the third one yet.
Yeah.
Day 1 of Memory of Chaos is always interesting. Just haven't tried it. Haven't had the
Yeah.
time.
Alright, thank you guys for tuning into this episode. I'm hoping this series will continue for a long time. If you liked it, or you have any questions or anything,
Please feel free to reach out to us at astralexpresschat@gmail.com.
yep, astralexpresschat@gmail.com. Enjoy your week of grinding and continue to play Star Rail.
And
it's a good game.
if you're pulling for Luocha, best of luck.
Oh yeah.
May all your 50/50s be Luochas.
Oh yeah. I really, really want it.
Or at least a
Anyways,
Bailu. That way you still have a second healer.
Yeah, well, okay. And besides that, take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.